You have been lied to for decades, and I am ready to tell you the truth. Welcome back to my new series called Neeshi's Noggin, where I share with you what's on my mind. And in order for me to expose the truth today, not only do I have to reveal to you that you have been lied to for decades, but for the better part of 9 years, I have also been lying to you. And that stops now. 9 years ago, to this day, actually, I became what many call a radio DJ. When I got the gig, I was excited to work with music. I love music. Pop music is my thing. And I was so excited for the opportunity to work so close with music. But I soon learned that music honestly didn't have that much to do with the actual work that I was doing. And looking back on it, I'm actually really thankful for that because I am not a DJ. Yeah, never was. All that equipment and all that stuff that people use, I do not know how to use that. And I have a lot of respect for people that do that stuff. It is a genuine talent. It takes a lot of work. You have to invest a lot of time, a lot of money. And after all of that, there's no guarantee that all the work that you put in is actually going to convert into a livable wage. So I tip my wig to all of you DJs out there.
So what is the truth?
The truth is, I was actually a professional storyteller. Editing Aneesh, jumping in real quick because I realized I never explained how was I a professional storyteller. So when I was on the radio, my job was to tell stories about my life or to convey stories about like other celebrities and stuff. And it was to do so in a way that not only was entertaining, but also something that was giving reason for people to continue listening. I think that's the easiest way for me to explain that. Carry on. I was hired in 2015, and I can imagine at the time, the job title of storyteller probably didn't sound very sexy, but to be quite honest, nowadays, it's what everybody wants to be. I mean, I think we can all safely say, you know someone, or you have literally said, oh, I want to be an influencer. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a YouTuber. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think that words matter. And it is important for us to be certain about what it is that we're saying so we can convey what exactly it is that we want. You feel me? Because I also have said, I want to be an influencer. I want to be a content creator. I want to be a YouTuber. So naturally, when I was on these platforms, and I'm like, I'm going to search things up. How to be an influencer, how to be a content creator, how to be a YouTuber. And I've watched countless videos guaranteeing that if you use this sound, add this hashtag, buy this equipment, that you're going to go viral, you're going to make $1 million, and life is all good. These videos get thousands, or maybe even like millions of views and engagement. And I can't believe it took me this long to tell you that all of that is bullshit. But recently, it hit me that the work that I did in radio is almost the same as the work that's done on these platforms. It's all about the story. So I'm gonna dedicate the rest of this video and showing you some of the things that I learned to become a better storyteller. I'm gonna break this down to 5 essential questions that I think are important for you to ask when you're trying to come up with content. Number 1, what is the story you're telling? I think this one's probably like the easiest question to answer. Like we can use this video, for example. I want to tell you about me realizing that my job title for the last 9 years was a lie. I'm actually a professional storyteller, and I want to share some of my tips with you. That's like a quick and easy explanation for what the entire video is all about. And I think that's important for you to be able to explain what exactly you are trying to do. It's important to have one general idea and stick with it. Consistency is key because then it makes you as the storyteller organized in the story that you're trying to tell. And take this however you want to. But when I'm receiving something, I like to receive one at a time. Question number 2, who is the story for? Now let's be real. Not everybody is going to enjoy your content, and you should not be trying to make content, or anything in your life should not be for everybody because you can't please everybody, right? So the question is, who is this for? When I worked in radio, we always filtered all of our content ideas through our P1. The P1 represents the people who basically listen to the radio station the most. This is the most engaged audience members. That's who you want to focus on. This is the person that I know that would call the radio station whenever we would give out the phone numbers and ask a question. Like there was always some people that it was like, guaranteed, you're not going to leave me hanging. And even here on my YouTube, I'm gonna be more specific. My girl Crystal, I know that you're watching everything and you're supporting it, and I love that. I know that when I put up new content, you are going to like it. I know that you have already subscribed to me. I know that you are going to leave a comment. I know that you are going to do. Let me just be straight up. It's really important on all of these platforms for you to have viewers that are watching things from start to finish. And I can count on Crystal to be that girl. Crystal, girl, I love you deep. Thank you so much. You've been a supporter. Day one. Thank you. Now, in the radio world, basically a bunch of higher up people would do some research and determine a particular type of person, determine what the location of where they reside, income, so on. I really don't know how else to explain this other than giving you an example because, like, I know a lot of people that followed me through my radio career when it started in Arizona. So I'm going to give this example of a P1. A disclaimer, this is for educational purposes only. This is completely fictional. This person is not real, but this is an example of a P1. I wrote this down. Megan is a 31-year-old Phoenix, Arizona native. She is a cisgender woman and married to her husband of 4 years. Together, they have 2 kids and a mortgage. Megan's annual income is roughly $55,000 a year as a retail store manager. Her husband's annual income is roughly $65,000 a year as an automotive technician. Both the kids attend Sunny Slope Elementary School. Megan is half white and half Mexican. Her husband is also half white, half Mexican, and so on. Like, this is down to the T figuring out who your model P1 is so that you have an idea of who exactly you are trying to tell your story to. I'm going to even relate this back to me. So let's talk about like my last YouTube video that I posted. As of me recording this right now, I think I had like 39 comments. All of those commenters were people who had met me at some point throughout my radio career. It makes me think like, okay, this is who I'm telling my stories to, which leads me to question number 3. How are you telling this story? So I kind of broken down to you beforehand that this was all motivated by me doom scrolling on TikTok and coming across these content gurus. They were trying to give fake ass advice to people because they're saying that they know how to make you go viral when none of their content was going viral itself. Like, I would look at it, I would watch this video, it seemed legit. I look over at the likes and it's got like 12 likes and no comments. I'm like, okay, maybe this is a fluke. Maybe this person just posted this. Let me go ahead and check out their profile. So I'm clicking over to the profile because you need receipts.
Proof, timeline, screenshots, in everything to prove that
It was all a lie. None of the videos cracked more than 500 views, and these content gurus were consistently not having more than 1,000 followers. How are you gonna tell me how to go viral if you don't know how to do it yourself? Now, I just wanna be clear. I don't know how to do that either, but I'm not gonna lie to you about that. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about all of these literal scammers that are posting this content, and it's like, okay, well, I wanna talk about that with you. But I can't just do that because let's be real. Like, if I just got on here and I just talk smack about these content gurus and that was it, it's like, okay, what are you getting out of this? I thought to myself and I was like, okay, well, I don't know how to go viral, but I do know how to make at least like decent quality content. And the core of that is storytelling. That's the basis of a lot of things, but you got to know how to tell a story. I have some ideas because that was my job for 9 years. Let me share that with you. Now, these last 2 questions, I'm sure you can figure out. They kind of go hand in hand together, and these are actually the tougher ones for me, but I think over time they become a lot easier. It's because they're related to each other. Question number 4 is what I'm going to start with, and that question is, when are you telling this story? This seems like a really easy one to answer, right? Like, it's just like, I'm gonna set a time and a date and that's when you're gonna do it. And like, that is true, except between me being a Sagittarius and having ADHD, I not only hate a schedule, but I hate people telling me what to do. Like, it's just, even if it's for my own good, I hate it. Irregardless, I was doing a morning radio show and that was on consistently Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 9 a.m. To the audience, you know that if you're going into this particular frequency, you're guaranteed between 5:30 to 9 a.m. in the morning, you're gonna hear me. And even more specific to that, we had segments like celebrity gossip or like prank calls and so on. And those were done at a set time every single day. It's a schedule, and it made things on my end a lot easier because I was like, okay, it's 7:40. I know exactly what it is that we're supposed to do right now. But I can't tell you how many DMs I've gotten over the years. Like, they would map out their routine and include me as part of their schedule. So they would say, as soon as I heard you say this, Aneesh, if I was hitting this part of the highway on my way to work, I knew I was on time. And if I didn't hit this part, I knew I would be late or I knew I would be early. That's crazy to me, but it's true. It's like this unspoken agreement that you have with your audience that you are going to create a schedule. So again, it's super important for you to do that because it can help you as the creator stay organized, and it can also help your audience understand and know that consistently I can count on Aneesh to always do this at that time. And to be quite honest, when it comes to content creation, this is also the same thing when it comes to algorithms. Again, I can't guarantee you how to go viral, but like, I literally work with Meta consistently. One of the things that you should know is that no matter like what the specifics are of the algorithm, if it's looking for a certain sound or a certain hashtag, if you post consistently at the same time every week, for example, like let's say you've decided that Fridays are your day. Surprise. You're posting 5 p.m. local time. Surprise. If you do that every single time, you're also helping the algorithm to understand that this is your schedule. You want to be consistent with yourself, your audience, and the algorithm. All of that being in agreement with each other can make things far more cohesive as far as getting your story out there. Now, question number 5, where are you going to tell the story? Again, this is a pretty simple one. And if you are doing something like me, for example, where like I'm trying to get into consistently posting on YouTube, that's kind of what we're talking about. There's lots of different social media platforms, for example, for content creation. There's YouTube, like right here. There's Instagram, there's Facebook, there's Twitter, there's TikTok. And I feel like those are like the main platforms for content creation. So if you're going for that route, it's about picking which one or which ones you want to utilize. But when it comes to storytelling, it's not just about social media. Like, my favorite forms, or at least one of my favorite forms of storytelling, is through movies and television shows. And that is only second to music, my love of music. Oh my God. If you can convey your story through instrumentation, no words, if there is like an orchestra that's doing like a certain number and it's getting me like goosebumps or I'm starting to get emotional, like that, that is everything. And it's storytelling. I mean, it is part of the foundation of truly anything that's creative. I don't care if you're knitting a quilt. There's a story there. I've watched professional interior designers explain that it all starts with a story. What story are you trying to convey? Because trust me, even like in your living room, in your bedroom, in your bathroom, there's a story that's being told there through the way that it's designed. Now, for the record, there's no correct order for you to go in. And this is not even just like exclusive. If you're able to answer these 5 questions, you've like cracked the code. These are just some of the things that I have to go through when I'm trying to figure out how to create content. It's how I do any type of storytelling. It's how I did it for the past 9 years, and it's how I'm going to continue doing it. I'm really thankful for these kind of lessons because I never thought about it this way before. I never thought about who am I going to tell this story to? How? When? I would just always have these ideas that was like, ooh, I bet it'd be a really good idea to shake my ass to the Ariana Grande song. But it's like, all right, now what? So I hope that was helpful for you. That was just one of the things that's been on my mind. So thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Neeshi's Noggin. I plan on coming back on Fridays and sharing with you just some of my thoughts. More to come. But for now, thank you so much for subscribing. You can also like, you can comment. And if you haven't subscribed yet, there is a subscribe button. Hit that gay ass button, honey, because you know you want to. And I will see you next Friday. Bye. Did the videos pop up yet? Did they?